In this video, I interview actor Haaz Sleiman, star of Marvel's Eternals. We discuss everything, whether it's being a Marvel fan, beginning in acting, and then working on Marvel's Eternals with Oscar-winning director Chloe Zhao. Whether it's fun memories with co-stars or behind-the-scenes mishaps. Stay tuned here on Flicks Unscripted.
It's history in the making as we know it, and to humanize a queer family in a Marvel film was a responsibility. Then 9/11 happened, September 11th. No one wanted to touch my music, knowing that I was Middle Eastern. Going on a Marvel set, you're like, what is it going to look like? How is it going to be?
So to start off, can you just tell me a bit about your journey going into acting? Is that something you wanted to do since childhood, or, how did that come about, and how did you develop as an actor?
Yeah, I wanted to be a recording artist. I grew up in Lebanon, in the Middle East, and I moved to America when I was 21. So my dream when I moved to America is to become a recording artist. And believe it or not, one of my biggest idols is Madonna. So I wanted to follow in her footsteps. Literally, I moved to Michigan, where she's from, then to Manhattan, where she went. But different, it ended up differently, not like her journey. And it became pretty clear because my music had it was pop R&B, think a little bit Timbaland, Missy Elliott, Miss You Recipes, Aaliyah. It was in that sort of vein. And then 9/11 happened, September 11th happened. No one wanted to touch my music, knowing that I was Middle Eastern. That was very discouraging to me. But I had taken an acting class in Lebanon when I was at the Lebanese American University, because I was curious about it. After watching, my love for acting began when I was maybe 6 years old, watching Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's when I was fascinated with it, because I thought, wow, like this whole other universe just really mesmerized me. And a friend of mine knew that I had an interest in acting and suggested, why don't you pursue it? And that's exactly what I did. I did a couple of independent films in New York. Then I got an agent in LA, then moved to LA. And then when I booked The Visitor, that is when I realized acting is my calling, because I never understood the power of film and storytelling until, I don't know if you've seen The Visitor, but The Visitor is a timeless classic. Everyone should see it. It's a wonderful movie, even now today more than ever, especially what's happening with the South of America's border. We were doing a Q&A, the film festival circuit. And after the Q&A, I was walking out, this white American lady chasing me down. I was like, please, Haaz, please. I just want to say something. And I was like, hi, yes. And she said, thank you so much for your portrayal in The Visitor. You changed everything I think about Arab men. I will never look at Arab men the same way again. So
Wow, what a compliment.
Yeah, when she said that to me, I realized then and there that what I do as an actor is so powerful, to the point, not just with her when she said that, now with the Eternals.
Yeah, that must have really sort of instilled that drive in you even further, and what a compliment to receive. Wow. And that segues nicely into my next question, which is about Eternals. So, that's obviously a Marvel film. Were you a Marvel fan before starring in the film? Were you keeping up with the whole MCU series? Or were you going into that, completely blind, really?
Of course, I'm a huge Marvel fan and DC Comics. I'm a big kid. I have a big inner child. It's really the biggest reason why I'm an actor is because of my inner child. It caters to my inner child. We all used to play pretend when we were kids. Doctor, oh, I'm a doctor now. You know what I mean? It's that. And my inner child is so huge that I just love all superheroes, all comic books and whatnot. And so, of course, that was part of the excitement. And let's not forget Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek, the cast, Kumail. They were just incredible cast. The preparation, like I told you, it was really weird because I didn't have the script. So I really had to rely on my skills. And thank God I was pretty good. By that time, I have been acting since 2005 professionally. So I was not only pretty good at it, but very confident. And confident to the point that if I want to make sure I shine in my life, I will shine my light. So all I had to do is really make sure I understood my scenes, even though I didn't have the bigger picture, which I always loathe. But yet I really just like made sure I understood everything. I also sat down with Brian Tyree Henry, who played Phastos. We would discuss any questions I had for Chloe. I would ask her, and honestly, surprisingly so, I didn't have that many questions. It was kind of pretty clear. It was just like a very loving family. And I don't want to keep saying clear. It was a loving family, just like any other family. So that's not confusing. That's clear. I come from a very loving family. I actually borrowed some elements from my family. For instance, my brother, my oldest brother, got remarried to a Russian woman, and she is his soulmate. So I think in a couple months, he learned Russian for her because he's in love with her. They're in love with each other. Right. So I decided, as a result, to suggest it to Chloe, like, how about if Phastos learned Arabic, because we are soulmates. I just wanted to show how I wanted to be as specific as possible as to their love for each other. And that, yes, they are soulmates, to the point that Phastos learned Arabic, thus the reason why I actually spoke to that line to him in Arabic, as to not embarrass him in front of the other Eternals.
So that's like a personal thing that came from you. That's really cool. So obviously stepping onto a Marvel set, that must have been quite the experience, because I'd imagine it's quite different to, you know, the majority of films, quite a different atmosphere and different type of film that you're making. So how did it feel on that very first day, stepping foot onto the set?
Overwhelming. Like Marvel, you're like, oh damn. And I've been doing it for a while. So, and you know, and I got nominated for Independent Spirit Award, Gotham Awards. I've been nominated for many awards, and worked with incredible artists. I mean, Tom McCarthy, Spotlight, Richard Jenkins. I mean, the list is even bigger, and I can't even remember, honestly, because I'm 45. So for me, I've done a lot, but yet still, like, going on a Marvel set, you're like, of course, you're like a kid. You're like, oh my God, a Marvel set. What is it going to look like? How is it going to be? And so, and also the fact that I didn't have a big part, you know, and I just came off of filming Breaking Fast, which I was #1 on the cast. I was the lead. And also I was the lead #1 in my episode for Little America, the Sun, which was voted one of the top 10 episodes of 2020, which I'm really incredibly proud of. Wow. For Apple TV Plus. So I was always like the lead. And when you're the lead, you get so much attention and everybody's catering to you. But then when you go on set, on a Marvel set, and you're like number, I don't know, I forgot what number I was. I don't know, like 16, 17, 18, 20 as a cast member. You almost like feel that you're being treated like background sometimes. So that was a little bit difficult for me, but I'm a professional. So, yeah, you know, the most important thing for me was to do my job. I think in the beginning, initially, I was overwhelmed just because I was so excited. I'm on a Marvel set. But then I'm a professional that I just like stop it, focus on the work. I didn't know much about Chloe Zhao, but when I started talking to her and having conversations with her, and then we did the first scene, me and Brian, with her, and the things that she would say to me, like one time we did a take, she looked at me, she's like, that was perfect, what more can I ask for? There was a kindness in her, the way she would talk to me, and a thoughtfulness, and even like I started to dig in her brain and realized that she was someone special, you know, someone who is inclusive. Like even the kiss, because the kiss was the big deal. First gay kiss in a Marvel film. She's like, Haaz, Brian, kiss for only 2 beats. Then Haaz, push Brian, put your hand and tell him, now go save the world, save our son. She was like, I don't want to give Disney or Marvel a chance to cut the kiss scene out ever. And she managed to succeed at that. So when she said that, I was like, wow, thank you so much for caring so much.
Yeah, definitely. Marvel are known for using lots of CGI in their films. So can you talk to me about your experiences working with that on Eternals?
There was actually, yes. Well, I mean, would you not CGI? It's actually physical, meaning that scene when I walk in, Phastos is actually the IKEA table was broken. Remember? Yeah, that was basically it. That took all day. That's the part. That's the part where I realized, oh, those things could drive me crazy because with actors, hurry up and wait. They say hurry up and wait, and then you wait. And so with this kind of filming, these things can take a long time. So they require a lot of patience. So I really have so much more respect for all of these actors that have acted before me. No, especially the actors who play superheroes. It is not easy, whether it be the green screen or things like scenes like that, because they really take a long time to make them happen and to make them look good. And a lot of patience and a lot of skill as well. Green screen acting can be extremely difficult because you'd be acting to nothing. You know what I mean? Like you'd be pretending that you're looking at nothing or whatnot. And for me, that just made me appreciate them even all the more. Yeah, it's really not easy actually what they do. But we did this thing where they had me and all of us like take shots from all around us. And I guess it is for the 3D or for the green screen. And I thought that was interesting and fascinating. You literally stand with your arms like spread open, and then the cameras are like click, all over around.
Yeah.
It was really cool, but weird.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, but kind of freaky at the same time. Do you have any particular favorite memories with any of your co-stars?
I mean, Richard Madden, Gemma, Angelina, Brian. Angelina, I was just like starstruck. So I had to I'm like, Angelina, like I had to come and talk to her because my son had dialogue with her. I didn't, even though we were in the same scene, but I didn't have dialogue with her. So I went up to her and I just wanted to talk to her and I told her, I just want to say thank you for coming. I'm from Lebanon, coming to Lebanon, visit the Syrian refugees. That meant the world to me. And she just lit up and she was so humble. It blew my mind. This is Angelina Jolie, the biggest star, so humble. She's like, we must do something. We must do something. And I'm looking at her about to cry. And her eyes were actually starting to tear up. And then she said, where are you from? Where do you live? I said, LA. She's like, me too. And I'm thinking of her as a girl. I know, but I didn't say that, in my head I said it. And she's like, let's exchange numbers before we leave. I'm like, yeah. I was even shocked about that. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then I figured I was an idiot though. I should have written my number right away and given it to her, but I didn't because she was wrapped before me and I was still filming. So that she had, she left the set. And so when I was wrapped, I was like, where's Angelina? She's wrapped. So it didn't happen.
Oh, no.
But just the fact that she said all of that is the reason why I'm sharing this,
Absolutely.
Just to show how humble she is. And by the way, she looked even more stunning in person.
It sounds like it's quite a nice environment to work in, and especially with what you said earlier about Chloe Zhao being so nice.
I really did not know what kind of artist she was. And then I watched Nomadland, of course, and she won the Oscar for Best Director. Yeah, that was probably my favorite part, believe it or not, because I love artists like herself who are inclusive, who are emotionally intelligent, and kudos to Marvel and Disney for having a director such as herself to direct a Marvel film. I mean, I think that's the first. Wouldn't you think? I really do think so.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think Eternals definitely stands out to me, amongst the MCU for its sort of visual style as well.
Yeah.
Were there any funny moments or mishaps or anything like that from the film that you could share with us?
That's a good one. Oh, yeah. Well, because I was not there a long time. It was just a short period of time. And thank God, everything was great. Sometimes directors keep struggling directing you. It was smooth with me. Usually it's been smooth with me. Like I know what I'm doing. You know, even now with Paul White's like beautiful. It'll be just like a little note here and there and whatnot. So Chloe, it was the same. She was like, wow, great, wonderful. Then one scene, one take, like she kept it running, you know, and I'm like standing there, not next to the table that was broken, and they kept rolling. And I'm like, what's going on? And then Chloe was like, oh no, we're just letting it roll so you can, if you want to say something, improvise. I was like, oh. But the way that I said it, I was like, oh, okay. Like I was so unfazed by it. I was almost annoyed because I was like, what is happening? And then I was like, oh my God, what an idiot. That's what they were trying to do. So for me, that would be probably the funniest and most embarrassing moment for me on set of The Eternals.
So you mentioned that your character, Ben, plays a big part in Marvel sort of diversifying their casts. That must have been quite a responsibility and pretty important to you, right?
Man, it's life-saving. It's like the fans that have been reaching out to me, like I told you, people like kids wanting to kill themselves. Now them seeing themselves in this, it's giving them hope. Literally, it's life-saving. It's that powerful. I mean, there's nothing bigger than Marvel and Disney in terms of how it reaches really across the globe, parts of the world that no other studio or any other, how can I say, like phenomena has been able to. And to have that opportunity through Marvel and Disney to tell that story, to let them be seen, that they matter, that they value, that they matter, that they have value, you know, it's life-saving, as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel is all over the world.
But also, let's not forget the age range, like younger queer folk who are really struggling, being bullied to the point of suicide.
Gosh, yeah. How has starring in the film affected your life thus far then?
Just really getting a lot of attention, a lot of love, and also a lot of hate. You know, so and that's and doing a lot of podcasts, and that's I would say, but also like really getting to meet people that I guess I would have never met, like Dr. Ramsey, who's at Stanford University, and who wants to invite me to Stanford to speak there, and introducing me to other incredible Arabic filmmakers that I can collaborate with and create art with. And so that's really exciting. Stuff like that is very exciting to me. But also, like, it's for me personally, it's reminding the world that of my value as an actor and of my capability as well, especially given the fact that I came out and I'm an Arab Muslim American actor. So you can imagine what that means. That means it's harder now for me to get to play leading male roles. I'm not a character actor. I play leading male roles. And so that's now become, in a way, an obstacle for me, unfortunately. So I'm hoping that my performance in the Marvel film will make people focus more on my skill as an actor and not my identity. Because I'm not an actor because I'm Arab, Muslim, and queer. I'm an actor because I'm an actor because I want to be an actor. That's first and foremost.
Yeah, absolutely. I admire that. What have you been working on since Eternals, and what are the next steps for you?
Well, I just finished filming with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, which was beyond a thrill for me.
Wow.
I'm working on producing a film written by Richard Friedenberg, a feature film. He was nominated for an Oscar for his work in A River Runs Through It, starring Brad Pitt. So now I'm like, in a way, trying to find the right director to direct it and to make it happen, to get it produced and to start filming. And I have another project, Egypt, which is basically Game of Thrones meets Spartacus under the umbrella of Black Panther. It would be an epic TV series. I'm trying to get that produced. I have a meeting with Salma Hayek's production company to see if that's going to be the home of that show. Things like that.
Sounds really cool, and I wish you every success with it. Can't wait to see you again on our screens really soon. But before we go, what advice would you give to somebody wanting to become a professional actor?
Only become a professional actor if you love it so much. That's it. If not just that you love it so much, you know why you love it so much. If you have a big inner child and it makes you so happy and that's part of it, great. But also more importantly, if you want to be an actor, yes, know why, and then ask yourself the real hard questions. Do you know your worth? Do you respect yourself? Do you know your value?
Yeah.
Because that's the most important thing. As an artist, whether you're an actor, singer, it doesn't matter what kind of form of art, you have to know your worth and your value. And a lot of times people get into acting or art to get validation. And that is the no-no. Because if you're going in it so you can feel like, oh, you're now worthy, which a lot of them do, by the way, and that's why a lot of them don't succeed. And it's also show business. It's a business. That's why it breaks my heart that a lot of talented actors don't make it because they're not good at the business part.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different other thing. So the advice that I would give is know your value, know that you're worthy, because we all come from different backgrounds and our childhoods are different and we're raised by different parents and different cultures and societies and ideologies and whatnot. And so we all, I think, go through a period of struggling with self-worth and knowing our worth, no matter who you are. This has nothing to do with anything other than like what I just mentioned, meaning like this applies to everyone in the world. It is the most universal thing. So number one, know your value. Make sure you give yourself the value that you deserve. Know your worth. Know that you are worthy. And because here's the thing. Oh, that's the most important part. Respect yourself. Because here's the thing. If you don't respect yourself, how do you expect others to respect you? And more importantly, as a professional actor, to be compensated for your professionalism is your job is to add value to the production that you're in. And that's what I always do. But how are you supposed to add value to any production if you don't have value or if you don't give yourself value? So that's my advice to everyone.
Wow, there's some really good advice there. Thank you so much. Do you have any social media where people can find you?
Sure, yeah, and thank God I'm verified. Instagram is Haaz.Sleiman and Twitter is Haaz Sleiman. I'm not on Facebook. I don't know. I guess I should be. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I have it, but I don't use it as much as the other ones.
And thank you for having me. I'm really proud of you. You're so young, and look at you. Good for you.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I wish you all the best for the future. Thank you for your time.
Likewise. Thank you for having me.